So today I am in Castletown here on the Isle of Mann, and there's a local event on, and it happens every couple of years. It's called the Hidden Gardens of Castletown, and it's an opportunity to walk around and go into people's gardens that normally wouldn't be open to the public. And I went a few years ago, and I have a piece over on my blog with some photos, and I'm really interested to have a look at some of the gardens I visited then and see how things have progressed. And we're about to head over to the beach where one of the most interesting gardens is. So after a short trek across this rocky beach, we're at number 1, which is just here on the beach. And I recall this garden from a few years ago. The story is that this garden has been washed away several times from storms. And they've had to rebuild it to bring in compost and start the garden all over again. You know, we have this kind of idea that you can't really grow vegetables on the beach, but just here we have courgettes, and I see some chard and beetroot in here. It's a really naturalistic planting. We've got borage, calendula, and it doesn't seem like the salt air is really affecting them too much. I've got one of these at home. This one looks a lot nicer. So an old Belfast sink makes a great planter. And I love this greenhouse here. It looks handmade. And inside, it's like a jungle of, looks like cucumbers and tomatoes and peppers. How lovely. What really strikes you when you visit these gardens along the beach here is just how much hard work has been put into actually creating them, because everything from the plant to the compost has had to be brought in, actually in some cases every single spring. And then you're dealing with winter storms, winds, rain, tides, washing all of your hard work away. The next garden that we're visiting is at Baguio House, and it's the oldest domestic garden on the Isle of Man. It's 500 years old, and from what I remember, it's a beautiful garden. Healthy crop of broad beans, and this is such a stunning greenhouse. I think we need to go and have a look from the inside. How lovely is this? We've got runner beans growing up here. Lots of tomatoes along the side, and it's so warm and toasty in here. And then grapes. Grapes don't do really well outdoors here on the island, but in here, they're loving it. This is such a great little setup. So over here on the right, we have a colony of honeybees, and then there's a water butt attached to this greenhouse, which is a really decent size, and I think I spotted some tomatoes and cucumbers growing in here. Some healthy looking tomatoes. Let's see if we can find a cucumber. Oh, there's plenty. Loads. You know, I love doing the regular allotment tours because because, you know, I can check out and see what other people are growing. But this is even better, just going into people's back gardens, invited of course, and having a look at their setups and see what they're growing on a more personal level. Wow, are these all sweet peas? Holy cow. The Isle of Man is really windy, so having these stone walls in your garden is a real bonus. So this is the bowling green, and it's also enclosed in a wall. And I wanted to come over and have a look at the roses. Wow, they're so pretty. Let's get a closer look. It's incredible what you can do with such a small space.
I know. I like the small gardens.
Yes, definitely. Easier to maintain.
I don't know what they are, to be quite honest.
I think it's like a Canterbury bell, a form of.
But my granddad, who I never knew, and my father was 5 when he died, and he's buried in France in the First World War.
All right.
They were farmers from North Yorkshire, but he did horticulture, and he was a market gardener and florist over here. And I wish he'd been alive because I love it.
This is lovely, this little tunnel down to the house.
Everything goes with green, doesn't it?
Out and about, just end up meeting so many people, it just being a small island. But the lady back there, she's actually featured on my blog under a pen name, I suppose. Well, she didn't really write a piece. I went to her home and took pictures of her vintage jewelry collection some years ago, and it's stunning. I'll put a link up on the screen if you want to go check that out, but it is incredible. I don't usually put things that, you know, relate to jewelry and things like that on my website, but I just had to in this case. Welcome to number 11. Some sweets. What do we have in here? And this has got to be the quirkiest little garden in the tour. Wow. This little fairy garden. So much creativity. What do you think? Would you have any of this in your garden? Or do you? Garden gnomes or other kind of creative garden artwork? Let me know as a comment down below. Well, we've seen a good number of the gardens on the Hidden Gardens of Castletown tour, and now it's time to head home. Hope you enjoyed walking around with us, and let me know what you thought of the gardens that we saw today. And if you have any questions about Castletown or anything else, let me know as a comment down below. I'll see you next week here on the Lovely Greens YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching.